Hey there. Welcome to the Ozarks Digital Desk. I'm Chris Pinson. That is Dan Lucy. We are, of course, the sports department here at the wonderful Color 10 Fox 49. Dan, today is Monday. We are just 3 days away from the start of the Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament.
Exactly.
And today we found out exactly what Beth Cunningham thinks of being the number 2 seed in this competition. And you've been here for a long time. You've seen a lot of success through this tournament, through this program. What's your expectation for them going into it?
Well, it's kind of sad being the last Missouri Valley Conference tournament that the Lady Bears are going to be in. And the Lady Bears, for years, it's been the Lady Bears and Drake back and forth, going all the way back to the Cheryl Burnett years when the Missouri Valley, the women's was created in the Missouri Valley because they actually had to bring them in. But, yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing for Beth Cunningham to win a co-championship. They beat Bradley by 10 on Saturday afternoon in order to clinch a 16-4 conference record, tied for first with Murray State. So it's the first time that she has got a championship. It's the 15th time that the Lady Bears have won a regular season championship or a co-championship for the Missouri Valley. So it's a good thing there. And to be able to win it on the home floor, I think, in front of the crowd. And there was a big crowd. Toward the end of the season, the people started showing up. The fans started showing up there, 4,000 plus for that game on Saturday. So congratulations to the Lady Bears and Missouri State and everybody for that. And so they move on to the tournament. And the thing with the tournament is the winner gets an NCAA bid. Everybody else does not.
Everybody else goes home.
This is a one-bid league, and it's going to be like that for the women. But I mean, what an enticing goal there is out there for the last year in the Valley to maybe grab that NCAA berth.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to get it. Again, a lot of competition. They get the first round bye as one of the top 4. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and hear from Beth Cunningham and find out exactly what she thinks about her Lady Bears' chances.
Whoever you end up playing, you're always a little bit nervous because that team's already played and has a game under their belt and kind of probably in a little bit of rhythm. So it's the balance of having to sit that day and kind of watch and then be ready to go from the jump. But our kids are excited to play. It's a new season for everybody. We'll certainly understand that. And the league has been extremely deep all year.
Now, of course, right, Beth is very good with the whole coaches speak thing, but she, like any great veteran coach, understands. As she said, right, you're 0-0. Everybody's equal. Everybody now gets another chance to play one more game at least. And for them, right, let's go ahead and try to pull up the bracket. When you look at this bracket right now, right, again, you've got the number 1 overall seed, Murray State. You've got Missouri State at 2. You've got Belmont at 3 and Drake at 4. Those 4 get a first-round bye on Thursday. But the winner of the UIC-Evansville game, that's going to be the one to take on Missouri State on Friday's quarterfinals. And as we know, UIC, in the first conference game of the year in Illinois, Chicago, beat the Lady Bears and gave them their first loss of the season.
And, you look back at what happened there, maybe that's what fired up the Lady Bears for the rest of the season because they went on a couple of really big, long winning streaks. You've got any of that group right there, Murray State, Drake, Missouri State, and Belmont. Any of those teams can win this conference tournament. So we like the way Beth Cunningham saying she likes where she sits there on the lower half of that bracket. You don't have to play Murray State or Drake until the championship game. You have to try to take care of Belmont if you can get past whoever wins the Illinois-Chicago-Evansville game there. And the Lady Bears did sweep Evansville in that thing. They've won 17 straight home games. That's the thing.
It's incredible, isn't it?
They have to win on the road now, which is another factor in there. So it's all this drama that's going into it. And then we had Lacey Stokes also talking about what she thinks possibly, having that first round bye. Who are you going to play? Not knowing. This is what she had to say.
Our team's definitely got a fire lit under us. So I think we've said it all year, one game at a time. After that one's completed, you go on to the next one. So right now we're just focused on whatever our first game is, for the tournament and taking it one game at a time and trusting and buying into whatever coach has planned for us.
Once again, Lacey Stokes truly is, a Beth Cunningham Jr., right? She knows how to kind of play the game, per se, when it comes to talking about the expectations, the upcoming tournament. But I think that's the best part about Beth, right, is that Beth and Lacey have talked a number of times this season about just how identical they are, how they think alike, how they approach the preparation, the game itself. And I think that's why they both don't flinch, whenever you have those pressure-packed moments. I remember talking to Beth earlier this year, and I said, Coach, I can't think of a team that I've covered before, right, whether it's the Gators in Gainesville or high school teams in Florida or out here. And this Lady Bears team, in the 2 years I've covered them, they make so many buzzer beaters at the end of quarters, right?
That's right,
They've done them at games. They've done them to win games, force overtime, and done it at the end of the first or second half. It's uncanny how these teams, whether it's with Paige Rocca or Anaya Thomas or Sydney Wilson or the current roster, they just don't flinch.
Yeah, exactly. And then Lacey Stokes grows up a Lady Bear fan.
Oh.
So she grew up as a little girl. She was seeing the Lady Bears go to these conference tournaments. And for years, it was either in Des Moines on Drake's home court or in Springfield on the Lady Bears home court, and it was a knockdown, drag out every single time. And you go back and you look at the Jackie Stiles years,
Oh, my
all that
gosh.
kind of stuff. So, I mean, this is that history that you've got that she is aware of and she knows about it. What's amazing to me is how short she is.
5'4".
And she goes in there and she just has the heart of a lion. And Beth talked about that. So now you think about, okay, you've got the Lady Bears as co-champions. Now you look at postseason awards. And they will name these award winners prior to the first games on Thursday out there. And in Evansville, and you've got, Lacey Stokes. Is she a candidate for MVP of the year, player of the year?
Gotta be, right?
Named after Jackie Stiles. It's the Jackie Stiles Award. You've got Lainey Douglas, who's won Newcomer of the Week 5 times from the Valley. Is she the Newcomer of the Year? And what about Beth? Is Beth the Coach of the Year? These are all things. Now, there's a lot of other teams. You got Murray State that tied for them, and Drake has some great players on their team. Who's going to win these awards? That's another thing that's the drama for as the week continues to unfold here.
I wouldn't trade Lacey for anybody. I mean, that kid has meant so much to our program, so much to our team. And I think the thing that I just appreciate about her so much is she plays with the same sense of urgency every single possession that she's out there on the court, often tasked with the toughest assignment of guarding another team's best player, but at the same time, how heavily we rely on her to have the ball in her hands and orchestrate everything that we do on offense.
I mean, she said it best, right? Lacey, I mean, she said it over and over again. The motor that Lacey Stokes has, she never quits. She always continues to push the envelope offensively, defensively. The only problem is, right, she is 5'4". If she was 6'4", she'd be the number one player in the country probably. But as you mentioned, right, some great other candidates in that conversation of winning the best player in the Valley. Katie Denebier out of Drake, of course, I think she's had 5 30-plus point performances this season. And in that same vein, Beth did go on to talk about how, look, in our offense, maybe that's a detriment to Lacey because she's not going to get those godly numbers like Denebier does. But I know one thing. The fact that Drake is number 4 and Murray State is number 1 means that Drake and Murray State will meet in the semifinals if both advance past Friday, and Missouri State and Belmont would meet in the other semifinal. And as you and I both know, the old saying is beating a team 3 times in the same season is so hard. And with Drake knocking off Missouri State last year in the last second to win the Valley tournament, and then this year, Missouri State winning both meetings in overtime here and up there, I mean, it's, again, we're not counting chickens because it's a long way to go, but to not have to maybe play Drake until the finals again for a 3rd time in a season, I mean, that just builds all the drama.
Or Lady Bear fans start rooting for Murray State.
Yeah.
in that semifinal if everything goes the way it should, chalk in the brackets there. But you mentioned that with the way the Lady Bears offense is, you've got 4 of their starters all in double figures.
Yep.
So it's a very balanced team. So you're not going to have anybody getting 30 points every game that way. Another thing to keep in mind as we go toward this, the NCAA tournament is the ultimate goal in this tournament. Mm-hmm. Beth Cunningham has a lot of experience as an assistant or associate head coach. Notre Dame, Duke, they're in the NCAAs all the time. So you know she wants to take this Lady Bears team to the big dance.
Yeah, trust me, we can't wait. Again, thank you so much for joining in. We hope you really enjoy our conversation. We're doing a lot more of this, so stick around. And again, women's MVC tournament kicks off Thursday. Lady Bears with a first round bye. They'll play Friday. See you later.